The next topic in the applications of biotechnology is stem cells. So this particular technology, stem cell technology, is fast developing in the field of biotechnology, and it is going to enchant the entire medical field. Such important topic it is stem cells technology. First we should know what are stem cells. To understand the stem cells, I have to start with how the tissues are developed from the groups of cells. The basic information what we studied in the lower classes. First I will take about, that is, one tissue. Any tissue it can be. At the beginning, in the embryonic development, not the human development, in the human embryonic development, in the uterus of the mother, assume that cells are there, a group of cells are there. Like that one full group. Now they are undifferentiated cells. They are not differentiated into any tissue. They are common cells. Body cells they are. Okay, they are undifferentiated cells. Differentiated cells. But when the embryonic development is going on, this undifferentiated cells are modified into a tissue. Modified means changing the shape, size, structure. Imagine that in the undifferentiated cell group, about 100 cells are present. Now the cells are undergoing differentiation. That is something called modification. Just now I told you what is the meaning of modification? Change or difference in the shape, size and structure. Now imagine that here one tissue is going to develop. All the cells are changing the shape. That is, all the cells are changing like this, and they are forming a new tissue. Now only tissues are developed. Now all these cells are called differentiated cells. Differentiated cells. The differentiated cells are joined together form a new tissue. But when all the cells are undergoing differentiation to form a new tissue, majority of the cells are undergoing modification, but some cells remain without any change. For example, here one cell is there, here also one cell, here one cell. So between the differentiated cells, some undifferentiated cells will be there in the tissues. They are undifferentiated cells in the tissue. Now these undifferentiated cells present in the tissue are called stem cells. Now in our body, for example, the child is developing completely. The child is growing after the delivery. The child is growing to adult. In the adult individual, there are so many types of tissues. Epithelial tissues, muscular tissues, nervous tissues, connective tissues. In each type of tissue, some subdivisions will be present. So in all the tissues present in the human body, differentiated cells are there, majority, but some cells are present without undergoing any changes in the shape, size and structure. They are called undifferentiated cells in the tissues. These undifferentiated cells are called stem cells. Now this is for epithelial microbe. Assume that one group of cells are there. They are undergoing changes into smooth muscle tissue. Smooth muscle tissue. Now the smooth muscle tissues, the cells will be spindle in shape. See that? How the cells will be like this. Now these are all the smooth muscle cells. Okay. Now between the smooth muscle cells which are already differentiated, some undifferentiated cells will be present. These cells are called stem cells. Okay, these cells are called stem cells. Now assume that these undifferentiated cells, another one I have, they are differentiated into neurons in the nerves, in the brain, in the spinal cord, in the nerves. Already in the lower class we have studied, neurons are irregular cells with a long axon, everything. Now like that enormous number of neurons will be present. They are all differentiated cells. These cells are modified into these neurons, differentiated cells. But between the differentiated cells, some undifferentiated cells will be there. These undifferentiated cells are called stem cells. So if you take there are so many types of tissues in our body. In all the tissues, among the differentiated cells or along with the differentiated cells, undifferentiated cells will be there. They are called stem cells. So now we are coming to the stem cells topic. What are stem cells? The question will be there. The stem cells are undifferentiated cells. Undifferentiated cells found in the tissues. In the tissues. They are all present in the tissues. They are called stem cells. Okay. Why the stem cells are very important? We have to know. Now the stem cells, for example, these are all the stem cells we have taken from the tissues and all. We are taking the stem cells. The stem cells can be modified into, any type of cells. Artificially we have to induce, not naturally. Artificially we have to induce these cells. When we induce these cells artificially, they are changed into any type of cells in the tissue. Now I'll give one example why this is very, very important. Now this is an important organ, liver, in our body, liver. Assume that due to some reasons in a small area of the liver, the cells are destroyed, the liver cells are destroyed. So it is a problem to the liver. Now what we can do is already the cells are destroyed. The complete cells are destroyed. Okay. Now what we have to do is, we have to bring the stem cells, a few stem cells we have to keep in the damaged organ, in the damaged region. And we have to stimulate artificially. Then these cells are first changing into liver cells and they are keep on multiplying, and once again the damaged area of the liver becomes perfectly normal. It is called organ repair. It is called what? Organ repair. Sometimes what will happen, this is the epithelial tissue. Okay, this is the epithelial tissue. The entire epithelial tissue is damaged because of some problem, because of some accident or any other problem. All the cells present in the epithelial tissue are destroyed. So what we can do is, we can keep a few stem cells. The stem cells are stimulated, then the stem cells are keep on multiplying and once again bringing the normal cells. So that is called regeneration of new cells. So either repairing the organ which is already damaged or to bring the new tissue. That is the importance of stem cells. So the stem cells can be changed into new tissue. The stem cells can be modified into a small portion of the organ by artificial inducement. Without artificial inducement, so that we have to apply some technology so that the stem cells can be changed into any other type of organs, any other part of organ. So that is the importance of stem cells. Okay, there are two types of stem cells in our body. There are two types of stem cells. Now we will take what are the two types of stem cells. How are they important? We are not to study. The first type of stem cells will be embryonic. The first type will be embryonic stem cells. Okay. Now first I'll explain about embryonic stem cells. Say, assume that in the human body, there is a zygote in the uterus of the mother. Today, there is a zygote, fertilized egg. Now this is the uterus. Okay, now the uterus, already with the reproductive system we have studied about all the things. Now in this uterus, one fertilized egg is coming and joining here. It is attaching to the wall of the uterus, either here or anywhere. Now first one cell, zygote is one cell. One cell divides into two. Two cells divide into 4 into 8, 8 into 16, like that keep on doubling. This multiplication of the cells of the zygote is called cleavage, what we are calling as cleavage. At the end of cleavage, now I'll take this diagram here, a hollow spherical ball-like structure is formed with a single layer of cells at the outer region. That means the cells are undergoing differentiation. So they are forming a single layer. Now the whole structure, the hollow ball-like structure is called a blastula or it is also called blastocyst. Okay, it is shortly called blastula. It is shortly called blastula. But all the cells are differentiated, but there are some cells which are undifferentiated. They are attached in the cavity along with the wall. Now a small mass of undifferentiated cells will be present. Now this is a mass of undifferentiated cells. These cells are not looking like the previous cells. So they are called. Now this mass of undifferentiated cells are called stem cells. Okay, they are called stem cells. These stem cells are present in the embryo. Blastocyst is an embryo. So we are calling this as embryonic stem cells. These are called what? Embryonic stem cells. We can isolate these stem cells and we can store them for future use, for repairing the organ or to produce new tissues. That is actually called the embryonic stem cells. So the embryonic stem cells are found in the blastocyst. Okay, blastocyst of the human embryo. Okay. Now the embryonic stem cells are having the capacity. Okay, they are having the capacity of differentiating into or developing into, that is better, developing into the 3 germ layers. Okay, 3 germ layers. What is the meaning of germ layers? Ectoderm in the embryo. Now actually this is blastocyst. Then it is developing into gastrula. One stage called the gastrula. So in the gastrula, 3 layers will be present. Now one layer is present inside the embryo. All are differentiated cells. Now this is called the endoderm. One layer is present outside the embryo. It is called the ectoderm. First I will take it as, it is the ectoderm. The inner layer is called the endoderm. And one more layer will be formed in between. A new layer will be formed. All are differentiated cells. Now the third layer is called mesoderm. That is, the embryonic stem cells are having the capacity to develop into ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Once the 3 layers are formed, in the ectoderm, lot of organs will be developed. In the endoderm, organs will be developed. Mesoderm also will develop into some organs. So the entire gastrula will develop into a complete individual. So stem cells can develop into one complete individual. That is the importance of embryonic stem cells. Now the second type of stem cells we are going to study, they are called adult or somatic. Any term we can use. Adult or somatic stem cells. Now we are calling this as adult or somatic. We are not taking embryo. Imagine that the embryo is developing into young one. The young one is delivered. Now the young one is growing into adult. So in the adult's body, as I told in the introduction, in the adult's body, enormous number of tissues are present. More than 50 different type of tissues are present in our body. More than 50 different type of tissues. Epithelial tissue, if you take epithelium, squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, glandular epithelium, like that many epithelial tissues are present. If you take skeletal tissue, skeletal, that is bones, tissues present in the bones, then blood tissue, muscular tissue, like that many type of tissues are present. But in all the tissues, we can find differentiated cells, normal. Differentiated cells will be there. Along with the differentiated cells, undifferentiated cells will be present. Undifferentiated cells will be present. Only these undifferentiated cells are called stem cells found in the tissues of the adult. The stem cells found in the tissues of the adult. That is called the adult stem cells. Why we have to call it as a somatic? Somatic means general body. So in the general body only tissues are there. So it is also called the somatic stem cells. Now the somatic stem cells, once we take that, Now the somatic stem cells are developing into any type of cells. But full individual like this will not be possible. Only different type of cells will be developed. For example, a person met with an accident, imagine like this, and because of the accident, the brain is a damage, assume like this. Now this is the brain, one part of the brain is a damage, it's a serious problem it is. Now what we can do is, actually the brain is a defective brain, damaged brain. But here we can keep a few stem cells, somatic stem cells or adult stem cells. We have to stimulate artificially. Then first the cells will change into neurons of this area. We are multiplying and occupying this area. So the damage is rectified. Once again the brain becomes perfectly normal and the area is started functioning. So the somatic or adult stem cells are responsible for repairing the damaged organ or repairing the damaged tissue. Now these are the two types of stem cells are present. Now we are going to see the embryonic stem cells. Once again I am going to take about embryonic stem cells. Now little more information, it is very important what I am going to say. Already I told you the embryonic stem cell has the capacity to develop into the germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Okay. Now the entire region is developing into one new individual. Now we are going to take one more. The next capacity of the embryonic stem cell is pluripotent. Now this is the next capacity, next power of the embryonic stem cells, pluripotent. Now potent means potential. Okay, potent means what? Potential. Now pluri means many. Okay, many. Plural, they really know like that. Many, pluri, many. Now, the pluripotent means that is the embryonic stem cell. Okay, the embryonic stem cells are having the capacity, potential means capacity to develop into many layers of cells. This is actually pluripotent. So, pluripotent means developing into germ layers. This explanation we have studied just before. Okay, the next one is multipotent. Okay, multipotent. Now, what is the meaning of multipotent? Potent means potentiality or potential capacity, ability. Multi. Again, I am going to tell about multi means many. Here also it is many. Then, what is the difference between the pluri and multi? Pluri, many only, but many layers of cells in the embryo. But what is multipotent? I am going to say. Now this is one stem cell. Assume like this. It is one stem cell. We are taking. Okay, this stem cell is embryonic stem cell. Stem cell I am writing. Embryonic stem cell. First, by applying biotechnology, we have to make it to multiply enormous in number. Okay, it is multiplied embryonic stem cells. Okay, multiplied embryonic stem cells. Okay, after that again we are applying biotechnology on the multiplied cells. So one group of cells will be developing into epithelium. Suppose the epithelium is damaged, the epithelium will become alright. The same embryonic stem cells, another one group will be developing into muscular tissue. Now this is epithelial tissue. The next one is muscular tissue. Okay, muscular tissue. For example, these are all the muscle cells. For example, one particular muscle in our body is damaged. Lot of cells are crushed. Okay, they are affected. Now we can keep the cells, so they are changing into muscular cells. Another one group of embryonic cells are changing into RBC, red blood cells. Another one group of cells are changing into neurons. Okay, neurons means nerve cells. Like that, they have the capacity. So, let us see that the same group of cells, one small group is changing into epithelium, another one small group changing into muscular tissue, another group changing into RBC, blood tissue, another one to change into neurons, nervous tissue, like that many tissues will be developed. This is called multi-paternity. Okay, this is called many types of tissues will be formed. Okay, embryonic stem cells are having the capacity to develop into many types of tissues. They are one full organ by 3 germline, but it has many types of tissues. These are all for organ repair. This is for entire organisms development. Now this is actually the importance of this. Now we are coming to the next topic, stem cell bank. Okay, stem cell bank. Say at the beginning, the scientists, the biotechnologists, genetic engineers and others and all, they tried level best to collect the stem cells from various tissues. But now a simple method is there. From that method, enormous number of stem cells we can collect and we can store. That is called the stem cell bank. Okay, stem cell bank. So, what is the meaning of stem cell bank? The first one is extraction. Extraction of stem cells. I will explain about this. This is the first step. The second step is preservation. Okay, preservation of stem cells. And the third one is storage of stem cells. Okay, the three things together we can call as stem banking. Now, wherever the tissues are there, differentiated cells will be there, but less number of undifferentiated cells will be present. So, we have to separate them. Now, we have to separate the stem cells from the tissues. That is called extraction. Okay, separation of stem cells from the tissues. From the tissues is called extraction. Then preservation. Once the cells are separated from the tissues, they should be alive for a long time. Then only we can store. They should be alive. So, the isolated, the separated stem cells. Okay, separated stem cells are kept in the preservative, suitable preservative. That is called the preservation. Once you put the cells in the preservative, they get food, they are active, they are alive. That is called the separated stem cells are kept in the preservative. So, in the preservative, the cells are alive for a long period of time. Then storage. So, under suitable temperature. Under suitable temperature, the stem cells must be kept, must be stored. So, that is called storage. So, if the preservative is perfect and the temperature is suitable, we can store the stem cells for any longer period, maybe 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, like that. So, that is called a stem cell bank. Okay. Then from where we are extracting the stem cells? Is it possible to damage the muscular tissue to collect the stem cells? Is it possible to damage the epithelial tissues and take the stem cells? But it is possible, but damaging the tissue. But without damaging any tissues in our body, we have to collect the stem cells. For the two methods they are following now. One is, the first method is, amniotic stem cells. What is the meaning of amniotic? We have to see. Now, in the pregnant mother, we have to take. In the pregnant mother, this is the uterus. Okay. Now, in the uterus, the child is growing. Now, this is the umbilical cord. Long umbilical cord will be there. Now, here a large bag-like structure will be present. Here only the fetus is growing. Okay, the fetus is growing. Okay, the fetus is growing. But the fetus is surrounded by a fluid. The fluid is called amniotic fluid. Okay, amniotic fluid is present in the uterus. So the fetus is always surrounded by a fluid. That fluid is called amniotic fluid. In the amniotic fluid, enormous number of stem cells are present. Enormous number. The stem cells are floating. They are suspended in the fluid. So what the doctors will do, they will take one little quantity, maybe maybe about a 5 ml or 3 ml of this amniotic fluid, hundreds of stem cells will be there. They can isolate the stem cells from the fluid. They can isolate the stem cells. This is one way, that is extraction. Very simple method. So mother is not going to be affected. Even the fetus is not going to be affected by taking 2 ml or 3 ml of amniotic fluid. This is one method. Now the second method or the second type of the stem cells will be taken from umbilical cord. So the second type of cells will be umbilical cord stem cells. B. Umbilical cord stem cells. Now imagine that the fetus is grown well, complete child is born. Then the mother is delivering the child. The mother is delivering the child. When the child is delivered, the fluid, the outer bag will be ruptured, fluid will be removed. Then, when the child is delivered out, the long tube-like structure, in the picture I have drawn very short tube, but it will be more than a meter. This is called the umbilical cord. Okay, this is called the umbilical cord. So, along with the child, the umbilical cord is detached from the uterus and that is coming out. So once the child is born, now from the newborn child, attached with the abdomen, a long tube-like structure is present. It is of no use after delivery. This is the umbilical cord. Normally, doctors will cut this umbilical cord closer to the abdomen and the umbilical cord will be thrown off actually. But now, after the development of stem cell technology, in the umbilical cord, okay, this is a human tissue. It is a child's tissue. In the umbilical cord, enormous number of stem cells are present. Anyhow, we are going to throw the organ away. It is not of any use. Now, before throwing out, what the scientists will do, they are collecting the stem cells from the umbilical cord. So, they are called umbilical cord stem cells or cord stem cells. Second type of cells they are. So, these are the two type of stem cells. Without affecting any individual, they are collecting the stem cells. That is called extraction, collection, separation. After that, they are dropping these stem cells in a suitable preservative and they are maintaining the suitable temperature. That is called a bank, stem cell bank. Whenever a person met with an accident, suppose one organ is damaged severely, then the stem cells can be taken. They will. That is what. Implant the stem cells in the affected or broken area or damaged area. They will stimulate them to multiply. So maybe over a period of time, the damaged organ will become perfectly normal. Now these are all the importance of stem cells. It is only the basic information what you are getting. But when you go for higher classes, that is in college studies and all, you will study much more in detail. Now this is the basic information what we are studying. That's we have completed stem cell technology.